I think my former best friend might ruin my marriage. Let me explain. My former best friend is my older sister. The former? Sorry.
Sometimes you have to give the appropriate title.
Sorry, that is wild, but yeah, I mean, it makes sense if it makes sense. She is a very difficult person to be around. We don't talk, and this isn't the first time we stopped talking. Our longest period was like 2 years, and it's funny because when we do talk, we are literally best friends, and she's my fave person in the whole world. I mean, she is my big sister. We had the best time together. It's sad we have the best time when she is single, but when a boy comes, hell breaks loose. Context: we're Nigerian and she is 29, my oldest brother 30, I am 23, and my youngest brother is 19. We are a Muslim household. My mum is more relaxed to religion, but my dad is more strict. But I never felt the obligation to have to be the perfect Muslim. In fact, I was allowed to do a lot of things when I was younger, and it was only when I was 22 that I decided I wanted to be a fully proper practicing Muslim and decided to wear my hijab. I always loved my religion, but now I love it more than myself, so I decided to do better. My sister isn't Muslim, she's an atheist, I think. I am 23 and I am engaged to the best person in the whole world. My sister hasn't made this an easy process. The reason my sister and I always have fallouts is her choice of boyfriends. She insists it's about something else, but we all know the truth. She has a habit of introducing every new boyfriend to the family, whether they've been together for a week or a month. Now, as I said, my dad is a very good Muslim, which is his right, and he's told us this from the day we were in the womb. He won't choose family over God. My sister refuses to listen and keeps trying to introduce her new Christian boyfriends to the family, which always leads to a huge fight.
Oh, Lord.
Her arguments with my dad create serious tensions and deep divisions within our family. If I don't approve of her partner, she picks a fight and cuts me off. If I call out her bad choices, she does the same. Her last boyfriend had 2 secret children, was ghosting her, and eventually just left. I know I'm not perfect, but if I can't be honest with her as her best friend and sister, who can? She always chooses toxic partners or friendships. I swear, it's like she puts herself in bad situations on purpose. Then, when she asks for advice and doesn't like what we say, she lashes out. She wants us to support her no matter what, but I don't agree with that kind of blind support. Do you? After her last relationship, man with kids, where she tried to fight me because I said I didn't like her boyfriend and I don't think he's good enough for her, I decided I'll never get involved in her relationship issues again. No matter how big, it causes an issue in the family. This new relationship I stayed out of. I supported her from the side. I met him and spoke to him kindly. She asked my dad about her marriage fund after 2 months of dating him. And my dad basically told her to get out of his face. As a sister, I support her, but as Muslim, I don't agree. Long story short, a bit into me meeting my fiance, she dropped me and blocked the family, even though this time we stayed out of her drama with my dad. The day before she blocked us, I sent her a long voice note saying how much I love and support her. I had a breakdown in public when I saw the text. No offense, but her boyfriend is a yes man, and that is how they are going strong. By the way, my older brother doesn't really like speaking to her often as she is a lot of drama for him. My dad and her do not speak. This time was one of the most painful experiences. She left us out of the blue, and at that point, we were really close. When she disappeared, I had just started talking to my fiancé. I had told him she was my best friend and that they would meet soon, but then she ghosted. I was too embarrassed to explain, so I just told him she had gone away for a bit, and I wasn't sure when she would be back. In the end, I was guilted into reaching out first and told her I couldn't get married without her. Now she acts like I came back grovelling, even though we've barely exchanged 10 texts in months, all initiated by me. The truth is, I want nothing to do with her. I didn't even tell her about my engagement. My mum did. Even my fiancé is confused about why I don't speak to someone I once described as great. My mum keeps hinting that he should meet her, but I've made it clear that might never happen. When she left, she truly broke me. It felt like I was mourning her because this time I knew things would never be the same. I'm in therapy, but she made me feel like a disposable toy, desperate for love and unworthy of it. How can she keep abandoning me at the first chance of a new family? I don't want her at my wedding. Even though I invited her, despite her not speaking to me, she still managed to cause drama. Mentally, I've taken the invitation back, but I suspect my mum may have secretly re-invited her. It's stressful as a bride because people call me heartless for not wanting her there. My friends think I'll regret it, and my fiance, who doesn't fully know the context, would love to meet her. He supports whatever makes me happy, but I feel ashamed to even explain everything to him. I don't know if I should get married without her, but I worry she'll create more drama. The truth is, I don't want her in my life or anywhere near my future children. What should I do?
Be honest. Be honest. Like everything, it's almost like you're doing opposites. So like you're saying that you don't want her to be around. You're working through therapy, but at the same time, you reach out to her. If you truly want her out of your life, block her number and only see her when you have to. And that's like family gatherings and stuff like that. Talk to your mother and tell her how you truly feel. But more importantly, tell your husband to be the actual situation that's going on.
Yep.
Because of course he's going to be confused. Of course he's going to give you the wrong advice because he doesn't know the true relationship that you have. I think once you start with that honesty, it will make your decisions a lot clearer because you will also have the backing of your fiance.
Am I the asshole for still going on a Miami trip after my husband told me no? Hey everyone, thank you in advance for taking the time to read my story. I need some sound advice on this issue. I, 26 female, and my husband, 26 male, got into an argument last night because he doesn't want me to go on a girls' trip to Miami. Here's the backstory. He and I were planning a trip to Miami to see his friends, and my friends came up to me a little while afterwards and said that they wanted to plan a trip to Miami. I discussed it with my husband to get his opinion on if we should do one big trip together or separate. We decided to go together since it's cheaper that way. Then we started to plan the trip. Unfortunately, his friends said they weren't able to go, and another one of his friends never even responded, which left just him, me, and my 3 friends. We were still planning the trip, but I started to hear less and less from my husband and anything he wanted to do on the trip. I asked him if he still wanted to go since he would be the only guy there, and he's not really cool with my friends. He said that he doesn't think it's a good idea for either of us to go because we're going to be moving and it's not a good idea financially. He never mentioned anything about this beforehand when his friends were going. Now that they aren't going, it's no longer a good idea. Before I continue, I want to address the moving situation. At this time, we're living with my mom because we're waiting for military housing. We're not paying movers or anything. We don't have a lot of stuff, and we're getting a U-Haul that's probably going to be about $100. My friends and family are helping out, the same exact friends I'm going on a trip with, and I let him know that it wasn't expensive moving out of our old apartment. We're moving up the street, not to a different state. This I reminded him of, and I also asked him, how was it a good idea before, and now your friends backed out, and now you think it's a bad idea? He said he always thought it was a bad idea. He just didn't say anything.
Convenient.
Okay. Next, he said that I should use my money to save and pay down credit card bills. Here's my issue with that. I'm the finance person in the house. My husband hates when I say we need to save money and pay debt off. He tells me that I'm acting like a mom and that I don't have the right to tell him what to do with his money. So we made an agreement that we would combine our finances and everything in the household gets paid first, i.e., bills, debt, groceries, savings. Whatever is left over, we split 50-50. And we can't decide what either of the other two do with the money since it's our money. His words, by the way. Now he's telling me that I don't need to spend my money to go to Miami, and I need to save it to put it back in the house. I reminded him what's done with the household money. We prioritize the house first before what we personally want. Whatever I have left over, I'm saving my personal money to go on a trip, and he can't tell me what I'm supposed to do with my money. I also want to add he's not saying the same thing about his personal money, just my own. I told him he can't tell me what I can or can't do with my personal money. That's something we agreed on because he didn't want that to be done to him. He said that he's not telling me, but he's highly recommending me. But he's literally telling me what to do with my money. I don't pay all the bills, and I tell him to do the same, yet he thinks I'm doing too much. Then he said that going on a girls' trip to Miami is a single-person activity, and a married woman shouldn't be going to Miami. I have to be honest, that threw me for a loop. I just wanted to go on a trip with my friends. He said, I don't think it's best for a married woman to go on a girl's trip. I know 2 other people are married to each other, but 1 girl isn't, and I just think that's single people activities. I asked him, how am I acting single for going on a trip with my friends? And he said that he didn't say that I was acting single, but that it's single people activities. I used to live in Key West as a kid. We would travel to Miami a lot and haven't been back since. Down there, we're going to Key West to see my childhood home. On top of everything, my husband has the full itinerary of what we're going to be doing in Miami. It's full of museums, sightseeing. We don't go to clubs, and we don't even drink. It hurt my feelings that he thinks that of me and that he's pushing so hard that I'm acting single if I go to Miami. But now I don't know what to do. I feel like he's trying to control me, or he's upset that his friends are not going, so he's taking it out on me. I've never been on a girls' trip before. The only trip I've ever been on is with family or with him. He's been on trips where it's just him, and we were just talking about him going to see his friends in Texas, and I'm supporting him and telling him to go. But if it's me, I'm acting single and being irresponsible. So am I wrong? Should I sit this one out? Am I the asshole for not telling my boyfriend about his daughter starting her period and giving her my doll? I'm 29 female. My boyfriend is 34 male. He has an 11-year-old daughter with his ex. He usually only has his daughter 3 weekends a month during the school year, but his ex is currently on vacation in Japan, so his daughter has been with him for the past 2 weeks. The weather has been really warming up where we live, and one of my friends opened her pool for the year this weekend. My boyfriend's daughter loves swimming. I told her on Thursday that we could go swimming on Saturday, and she was ecstatic. Saturday rolls around, and she stayed in bed all morning, looking miserable. My boyfriend took her temp, and she didn't have a fever. She just told him that she didn't feel like going anywhere and asked to be left alone. It didn't seem like she was sick, and she had been so excited about swimming earlier in the week, so I knocked on her door later in the day on Saturday to ask if something happened at school that upset her, or if anything is going on that she wants to talk about. She initially told me no, but she was tearing up. Then she made me promise not to tell her dad, which I agreed to. She told me she had started her period, wasn't a lot of pain, and was using toilet paper as a makeshift pad. Even with my assurances that starting your period is nothing to be embarrassed about, she still did not want me to tell her dad. I ran to the store to get her some different pad options, a heating pad, and some chocolate. As promised, I didn't tell her dad. I just said I was running to the store to grab some snacks for myself and his daughter. His daughter continued to have bad cramps, even with the heating pad, so I gave her 2 Midol tablets. About 90 minutes later, she was feeling a lot better. I gave her 2 additional Midol tablets when she woke up the next morning with cramps. My boyfriend's ex returned from vacation late in the day on Sunday, yesterday. His daughter had no issues with her mom knowing about her starting her period, and if she had been in town, his daughter would have called her. The only reason I got involved is because her mom wasn't there and she didn't want her dad to know. I knew his daughter would tell her mom once she was back, and so it was just about a day and a half of me helping and not telling my boyfriend. I figured if his daughter's mom thought my boyfriend should know, then her mom should be the one to tell him. And as I made a promise to his daughter not to tell him. This morning, my boyfriend's ex told my boyfriend what happened, and he called me after speaking to her. He was furious with me for not telling him about what he called a medical condition and for giving his daughter over-the-counter medications without his approval. I told him I wanted his daughter to be able to trust me so she would be comfortable coming to me in the future with things that she might be embarrassed to tell her dad about. I also told him that if there was something going on that required medical attention, I absolutely would have told him, but that it was just her starting her period. He's still pissed, mainly about me giving her the Midol. Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for being angry my tax refund paid off my husband's child support? My husband and I filed our taxes jointly this year for the past 2 years. I was completely unaware that he had $7,000 in unpaid child support. I thought he was making regular monthly payments. We were expecting a refund, but only $175 was deposited. I feel blindsided, violated, and taken advantage of. When I brought this up, he dismissed my feelings and told me that I should be grateful this child support is now paid off because it means he can contribute more money each month. The logic doesn't make sense to me. His child is still under 18, so he still has to make ongoing payments regardless. I feel physically ill. He's not supportive of how I feel whatsoever, and he's actually angry at me for how I'm responding. Top comment, lawyer here who used to practice family law before I decided I didn't hate myself. There's no way he didn't know he owed that money, and there's no way he didn't know it was coming out of your refund. The notices are insanely pervasive. His job and bank also knew this would happen. He set you up and he hid the information from you. Somebody else said, fill out the injured spouse allocation form, not the asshole.